Hi everyone, Michael here from Brutus Monroe. I am here today to show you some fun products that are in collaboration with Brutus Monroe and Thermoweb. Thermoweb is the manufacturer of decofoil products. So we have some foiling, some adhesive sheets, some new transfer sheets, all kinds of fun stuff to show you, along with some stamps, stencils, and dies. So let's hop right in. This is the magical Monarch collection. This is fairly new. We have a 6x8 stamp, and you will notice there is the shadow piece and the inner piece for all of these butterflies. There's 3 floral clusters and some great little sentiments. This one, Be the Best Version of You, is probably one of my favorites. There is also a coordinating die for the stamp set, and the great part about the coordinating die is that you have the outer part of the butterfly and also the inner part of the butterfly. So you could create butterflies all day long with just this die set, and you wouldn't even need to use the stamp for it. We then have a coordinating stencil that, goes along with the stamp set, with the die set, with the toner sheets, all of it. And you get the shadow part of the butterfly and also the inner part of the wings. So there's that. And then there are these toner card fronts from this collection. And I just want to open these up and show you real quick because they are different orientations that you might not notice from the packaging. So it has 8 different designs or layouts of the butterflies. And the great part is, for these ones, the stencil fits right on top of that. So basically what you can do is you can put some foil over this, and the foil will cover the parts that are just black. And then you can go in with the stencil and stencil in the wings of your butterfly and create a really fun card that way. But if you're not into laminator foiling, that's totally okay too. You don't have to use these with foil at all. You can just create wonderful backgrounds. But the beauty of this collection is that all of these products work together, but these products also can work independently of one another. So it was designed in this very specific way. So if you just want the stencil, you can buy the stencil and make a whole project just using the stencil. If you just want the die and just want to make these butterflies, you can buy just the die and create all the butterflies you want just using that. Or if you just want the stamp and you just want to stamp the butterflies, you can do just that. Or if you just want to have these toners sheets to use as backgrounds for other products you have, you can use just those. So that's kind of the beauty of this, is that each thing works individually, but it also all works together. So it kind of stretches all of your products out there. And the really cool thing about this collection is the magical shattered glass foil. Now I'm going to talk about this for a second, and we're going to show you some really cool things you can do with it. So unlike other foils, this is clear. You can see through it. And you're probably sitting there like, why on earth would I want clear foil? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because when you use this over top of a clear gel, it gives an iridescence. And I'm going to show you an example right now of this rainbow card, butterfly card, that we are going to create today. So all of the wings on these butterflies have been foiled with a clear gloss finishing glaze. This is the Brutus Monroe finishing glaze gloss that was stenciled through and then heated with this clear foil. So that's one way to use it, and we're going to do that today. But the other way to use it is the Brutus Monroe chroma glaze. So these are swatches of different colors of chroma glaze. And chroma glaze works in the same way that the duo gel works or the gloss finishing glaze works, that you can put your piece of foil over top and it will adhere. And the great thing is, since this is clear, you'll be able to also see that color underneath. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm just going to cut this a little bit, and I'm going to foil all of the pieces on this swatch page. Need a couple more pieces of foil, huh? And then we're gonna get into our butterflies. I'm gonna show you how we put the gel on, and then I'm going to show you how to put the card together. We're also going to use some brand new adhesive transfer sheets today to create the background of our card. And the adhesive transfer sheets are a great option to foiling if you're not interested in using heat. You can use heat or a die cutting machine with those. All right, so I have covered all of our pieces here. And I'm gonna pop this whole swatch sheet into the carrier folder. And we're gonna run this through the ink. And then when it pops out, we're gonna see that magic happen. Okay, everyone, so we have run our sheet through the ink and we're ready to peel back our sheets. Look at this, everyone. Already we're seeing this fantastic mirror ball effect. You remember what it looked like before, so this is our finished product. So from that chroma glaze, it was just a translucent color. It now has this iridescent shine to it, all thanks to this foil. So that's what it looks like on the color swatches that I wanted to show you. So now we're gonna create our rainbow butterflies with the gloss finishing glaze. So basically what we're gonna do is take the stencil, and I've already pre-cut out a bunch of little pieces of cardstock in rainbow colors. So we're going to have to stencil on the finishing glaze onto all of these and I'm using the smaller butterfly so we can fit all the colors of the rainbow on this card today. So we're just gonna take with the bottom of our palette knife some of the finishing glaze. We're gonna hold our stencil over our piece of paper and just gently spread this across. There's excess, you can just scoop that up, put it right back into your jar so you don't want to waste any of this. And then you'll peel that up, and then you're going to let this dry. So basically what you'll do is you'll take your same stencil and you'll go right along all of the colors until you have all of your butterflies looking like this. And we're gonna go ahead and do that in a snap, and then we'll show you what it looks like when it's all nice and dry. All right, everyone, so our butterflies are all stenciled and all dry, and we have all the colors of the rainbow here, and with the nice dry glaze. So we're gonna go back to the magical shattered glass foils, and we're going to cover all of these with this foil because we're gonna want that same effect on all of our butterflies. And just move these together. I'm gonna try to fit as many as possible onto one sheet so we don't waste. All right, sheet number 2. All right, so those are all ready to go into the mink, which is nice and hot and ready to go. And just as a reminder, anytime you're foiling with a mink or any type of laminator or something, you do want to make sure that it's nice and hot, ready to go. The great thing about the mink is it has the green light to let you know when it's ready. So, and the really cool thing about this product is that it has a lot of pressure, and pressure is just as important as heat when it comes to foiling. Okay, so we have run them through. I pulled them out of the carrier sheet, and we have another peel and reveal moment right here. So we're just going to peel all of this away and reveal our shiny, shimmering butterflies. And this is the reason I decided to do this on colorful cardstock and the finishing glaze gloss is to show you that it creates this beautiful, like tone on tone look for your butterfly. So it's really fun, it's really exciting. The next step that we're gonna have to do is take the Decofoil adhesive pen. So this is another option to, if you don't want to use any foiling with heat, you can use this adhesive pen. And the reason we're going to use this pen is, as you can see on my example, we want to add a little bit of the center of the butterfly and the antenna, okay? Because on the stencil part, it doesn't have that section. So when you use the Decofoil pen, let me grab a little scrap piece of paper to show you. It's almost like a paint pen, except it's adhesive. So you want to bleed in some of that adhesive first. Just push it down a couple times to make sure that it's nice and juicy before you start. So I'm just going to freehand draw antennas and centers on these butterflies. I'm going to do these first 4 and then show you how this works. And then we'll move on to the last 4. And what I've done is gathered up foils in a rainbow of colors. So I'm just going to press them onto that section. In this way, the center of the butterfly is going to coordinate with the color of the cardstock. So I thought that was a really fun way to tie in the whole rainbow theme of this project. Okay, so we got that nice and pressed on. So I will go ahead and add the final 3. Okay, and basically you just kind of want to burnish this on. You can use a burnishing tool. I'm just going to use the edge of the palette knife here to burnish that on and peel that off and show you that there's just that little bit of foil now in the center of these butterflies. We just kind of created our own little finishing piece, and the great part is, like I said, the colors of the foil so perfectly coordinate with the paper that we're using. And the thing that I love about the Decofoil pen is that it almost gives you this like hand-drawn effect. So you can see now for that orange butterfly, we have the center that's orange and the wings that are more like iridescent. So it's added a whole nother element to this card very simply. So beyond that, we will be die cutting. We'll die cut out all of our butterflies. So one by one, we're going to have to die cut every single one. All right, so that was just a quick little snap, and we're all die cut and ready for the next step. So the next part, we have to create the background of our card, and there is a brand new product that's going to make this so simple and so easy to do. These are adhesive sheets. Adhesive transfer sheets essentially is what they are, and these are from Therm. These are a collaboration design with Brutus Monroe and Therm, but there's a variety of different designs in these. This particular design is called Dazzling Doodles, and you can use all of these different pieces to foil with, and we're going to show you how today. So basically, we are going to cut out all of these larger bits. And the ones that are like this, we can use as the whole piece. There is a clear backing on this, so we're going to peel that off. And we're going to place these towards the top. And then I'm going to take the same three from the other sheet, peel that backing off, put that towards the bottom, and then these ones I'm going to cut in half, some of them. This way, we'll get a little more stretch out of these. But feel free to trim these any way you want. You don't have to use the whole shape. You can cut them down however you wish. It is totally up to you. Okay, so we are going to go ahead, now that all of those are attached, we're going to run this through the die cutting machine. Just to really get that pressure going and burnish those on. Okay, so now that we've burnished those on really well with the die cutting machine, we're just going to gently peel back all of these acetate pieces. And basically, what has happened here is this has transferred an adhesive onto the cardstock. So I know you can kind of see that a little bit on the screen. This is now sticky. So what we're going to do, remember our foils that we used, we're going to go ahead and adhere these foils over top of these pieces. And we're going to get all of the colors of the rainbow in. Red, orange, yellow. Green. Blue. Indigo. All right, so now that we have all of those foils attached to all of that, we're gonna bring back the die cutting machine and we're gonna run this through one more time. We'll do 2 for good measure. But basically, this is now burnishing the foil onto the machine, or onto the paper. Without the need for heat. So we're gonna gently peel back all of our colors. And you'll see we're gonna get some really cool stuff on here. Now, you could also use the Decofoil pen that I used on the butterflies to achieve a rainbow background in a similar way. But I think these transfer sheets are just as fun. So look how cool that looks, that rainbow on the black. I think that's super fun. So we're getting there, everyone. So we have our butterflies ready, we have our background ready. The next thing we need to do is create our sentiment. And for this, we're going to use the Be the Best Version of You. So let's just peel that off. We're gonna heat emboss this with the alabaster white embossing powder. So we already have our stick and stamp mat ready to go in the Misty. So we'll go ahead and line this black cardstock up. Let's figure out where we want to place that sentiment. Close the lid. We will take our magic powder bag and just give it a light little dust. And then we'll use the clear embossing ink to really ink up that image. And I'm going to go ahead and hit that one more time. Pop that off. Clear piece back on. And then we're just going to go ahead and use our white embossing powder. This is our alabaster white. It's actually the #1 embossing powder we carry. It is a fine detail white. And make sure you get it all back in the jar. Nobody wants to waste. Nobody wants to waste embossing powder. Okay, so we have a heat tool just ready to go. So we're going to heat this up. And as you heat up embossing powder, you're going to notice it start to change. It's going to go from a dull finish to a shiny finish right before your eyes. And as you see that happening, it's very obvious. And once it starts to happen, it will start to happen very quickly. So it's starting over there. working our way to the front. Put it in the back. Okay, so we have our sentiment all heat embossed up. I'm going to go ahead and trim that down to a nice usable size for our project today. All right, everyone. So now we have all of the pieces to put together a card. We have our card base. This is a 3.5 by 8.5 base. We will go ahead and adhere, making sure to center, top to bottom, left to right, the black over the white. Okay, and some of you might be wondering, why is there all of this open space in here? It's because of the butterflies. So there's going to be plenty of room to cover all that up. So what I'm going to do is flip over our butterflies, and we're going to put some foam squares in the center of all of them. This way, we can kind of puff up the wings on the sides as we adhere them to the card. And we are going to put the sentiment on last. All right, friends. So, like I said, you can kind of just shape the wings with your fingers, and we'll start adhering these one by one. And you want to make sure that you are covering that middle part, so like the top can come off a little bit. And they'll go in rainbow order. Making sure to kind of alternate it down the card a little bit. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue. I think rainbow anything just makes people happy and gives them joy. So I can tell you, if you gave this card to someone, they'd probably be really happy about it. And it's really easy to recreate. Our little sentiment will get popped up right at the bottom there. Peel back our little foam strips. We can kind of go underneath that butterfly and over top of that wing. And you'll see it says, "Be the best version of you," with all of this glimmer and shine and shimmering everything. I think this is a really fun and fabulous card. Your friends will be so impressed. They'll think, wow, you must have paid like $20 for that card. And you can say, no, I made it myself. So thank you for joining me today. in the Magical Monarch collection and the new adhesive transfers with Therm and Brutus Monroe. So I hope you make a shimmering rainbow card just like this one, and we'll see everyone soon. Bye now.